Well, we got some free agency news coming out of Chicago. Now, the Chicago Skies is in a definite need of an upgrade, and there's some unrestricted free agents that they're seeking, and also there are some disgruntled players that they are seeking. But we're going to unpack all that next here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, we got a developing story coming out of Chicago, man. This is some breaking news out of Chicago. This is on the eve of the news that we got yesterday about Jeff P. and Tyler Marsh meeting with Courtney Vandersloot and Dejanay Carrington down in Miami. And we all know what's going on down in Miami. That's where Unrivaled is taking place. And like Sue Bird said, and I said myself on a recent show I did, that these girls in Unrivaled, they're behind closed doors and they trying to recruit each other to come to their respective teams. Now, we all know the issue with Chicago Sky. A lot of people, talk about the facilities and things like that. The facilities is not coming into 2026. They got a state-of-the-art facility that they broke ground on. That's not going to be done until 2026. And sometimes these free agents and some of these players, certain places got to be attractive for them, because we all know what the stigma is in the WNBA about practice facilities and places where they can work out, places where they can get medical attention, trainers where they can come in and get their breakfast and things like that. Basically, on the lines of what Angel Reese said about what's going on down in Unrivaled, where she can come in, it's a one-stop shop. She can eat breakfast, she can train, get a massage, work out, and everything's in the facility, and you ain't got to go nowhere. And that's what some of these WNBA franchises are building, these state-of-the-art facilities, so that their players can come in and get treatment, get, food, they can get fed, they can get a workout in, they can get taken care of, and also they can go shoot around and actually be in a facility where they're wanted. Now, we all know Chicago Sky has a problem with that, and we all know the situation with Jewell Lloyd. Now, Jewell Lloyd is a member of the Seattle Storm, and last year after the Olympic break, they brought in Gabby Williams. And when they brought in Gabby Williams, everything went south. Everything went sour. Then there was an investigation at the end of the season about things that was happening in the workplace. And through that investigation is closed. Now Jewell Lloyd requested a trade. Now, here we are in the middle of free agency in the WNBA, and teams are able to speak with certain players. We have a lot of restricted free agents that have became unrestricted free agents. We got players on teams that's been cored. And what does that mean? So now Jeff P. and Tyler Marsh are doing their due diligence and trying to get players in free agency to come to Chicago. Now, one of our main pieces that we've been advocating for, I've been advocating for, is Jewell Lloyd. But now it comes to breaking news that the blockbuster deal between Chicago Sky and the Seattle Storm have fell apart. Now, that makes me believe, like we always been talking about, certain players on Chicago, a lot of teams don't value. They don't have no trade assets outside of Carmela Cardoso, Angel Reese, and you're not giving up your cornerstone. Now, I heard that Seattle wanted that third pick included in the deal, which Jeff P. and Tyler Marsh stood 10 toes down and they reluctant to give up that third pick, which I wouldn't give up the third pick myself. Now that deal has fell apart. Now they're saying a potential landing spot for Jewell Lloyd is the Las Vegas Aces. Now, if you guys been following my channel and been here, y'all know I said if the Chicago Skies do not get Jewell Lloyd, she is going to go to the Las Vegas Aces and she is going to be balling out. I've said that. All you got to do is go check the tape. I said that. If Chicago Skies don't get Jewell Lloyd, the Las Vegas Aces will be her landing spot and she's going to go ball out. A lot of people think Jewell Lloyd ain't got that much left in the tank. Oh, she got a lot left in the tank if you just watching Unrivaled and see what she's doing in Unrivaled. She got a lot left in the tank. She's a certified bucket getter. And that's what Chicago needs. They need some scoring with the loss of Kennedy Carter. So now Tyler Marsh has to go back to the drawing board. What is the direction that we going in now? Now, see, all that news came way of our good friend, buddy old pal, Annie Constable. Now, Annie Constable, you know, she broke this on her Twitter handle, and this is what Annie Constable had to say. According to multiple league sources, trade talks between the Chicago Sky and the Storm have gone cold. What does that mean for the Sky and free agency? And where could Lloyd potentially end up? Jewell Lloyd may no longer be on the table for the Chicago Sky. Also, she said Jewell Lloyd may no longer be on the table for Chicago Sky. So Annie Constable, like I said, you can call Annie Constable what you want, but to me, she has never been wrong. So like I said, where there's smoke, there is fire. So right now, Jewell Lloyd is off the table as of right now because the trade talks have broke down. I don't know if they're going to get back to the drawing board or what, but right now, the talks have gone cold. So what does that mean? That means to me that Chicago has to go in a different direction. And it might be building through the draft. I know a lot of people, we talked about it. A lot of people said let's just build through the draft. A lot of people was on this notion of not even entertaining Jewell Lloyd. But Jewell Lloyd said it herself on a Chicago news station that she wanted to retire at a Chicago Sky. But a lot of people said, why don't you just wait for 2026 to go get Jewell Lloyd and she'll be a free agent? Well, now this makes things difficult because if she is a potential landing spot for the Las Vegas Aces, I think she's going to pick up her option with the Las Vegas Aces, and Las Vegas Aces can sign her to a long-term deal. I think that's possibly in the cards. I don't think her going to the Las Vegas Aces is going to be a one-year rental because Jewell Lloyd is going to go to the Las Vegas Aces. In my opinion, if that's where she lands, she's going to ball out and she's going to request, you know, some money. And I think the Las Vegas Aces will offer her that money to stay in playoff contention, in, you know, championship contention. They're battling with New York Liberty. All they need to do is get some extra firepower, and that's Jewell Lloyd, because you got to look at the situation with Kelsey Plum. So now Chicago has to go in a different direction, and they got to go back to the drawing board to see what they're going to do. So now we talked about it yesterday about Courtney Vandersloot. Do you bring in Courtney Vandersloot, a potential veteran, to help Olivia Miles out if Chicago Skies get Olivia Miles at 3? Now we got to go find other pieces to fit with Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso and build around them. We got to be very strategic now because we losing a major piece to the puzzle. That's my opinion. A major piece to the puzzle in Jewell Lloyd. Now, where do we look now for a scoring punch, right? Because even though you can have a great defensive team, you got to at least put the ball in the basket, then go get stops. So this is breaking news out of Chicago, man. I know everybody going to be in the comments going crazy. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And we're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.